Welcome in to Viking News on Demand, inside Humboldt basketball with head coach Ronald Abernathy, and we're in different surroundings today. UT Martin has opened up their facility for you all to practice, that not just today, actually. You've been here for, is it a couple of days?
Yes, sir, we have been, because this is our second day.
Awesome. Is that a normal thing? Do they normally open that up to high schools? Did you have to reach out? How did all that come out?
Well, no, we reached out, after my coaching staff and I talked. We thought it would be a good idea, since we play so early in the morning, and especially in a big open facility,
yes,
to try to access one. And of course, we got with George Yarbrough and Dr. Epperson, and they made it happen for us.
Wonderful.
Opened opportunities for us to be able to practice at 9:30 a.m., which is game time for us.
Sure.
In an open arena, and UT Martin is open.
So what do you gain? You said open gym. What do you gain from coming to a bigger facility like this with these players to prepare them for Murfreesboro?
Well, in a bigger open facility, you don't have the walls that you have in the smaller gyms and the smaller facilities. So one advantage is to get into a facility, because the depth and the shots and the air are different, and especially in a bigger facility,
sure,
it's bigger. And of course, like I said, you don't have the walls and the tightness that you have in our high school gym. So getting in an opportunity to play, to practice in an open facility like this is tremendous.
Are three-point lines different?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Three-point lines in college are different. So what we actually do is we have our shooters step inside the three-point line, which is about the length.
Okay. Yeah. So your three-point line at the district or state tournament, then, is it different than what you've been doing all year long?
No, they'll have the high school one in the state tournament.
Okay.
It'll be marked for high school.
That's what I thought. What I thought. It's just a bigger atmosphere, and a lot of these kids have been there before.
Yeah.
Do you know right offhand how many of these have been there?
Well, our 7 seniors.
Okay.
All 7 of our seniors were.
Yeah.
All 7 of our seniors were here in 23.
It's hard to prepare them for that moment when you walk into that gym, and you're going into MTSU, which I should have looked it up before this article or this video, but the seating capacity is quite a bit more than what they're used to at Humboldt. Now, we packed it out the other night,
right,
but it's going to be a different atmosphere altogether. How do you prepare them for that?
Well, again, getting the opportunity to come here twice this week, and
yes, sir,
that's the only thing you can do.
Yeah,
is to try to practice in an open arena to get them prepared for what they're going to see in Murfreesboro.
Is it easier for them to tune out the noise, the extra hollering from the stands? Sometimes is it easier for you to get your word across as a coach?
I think in our perspective, I think because of our crowds at home, and they are big and they are boisterous, I think for us it's different. But our crowds and our fans and our home, just like our recent sub-state game, prepares us for this kind of arena.
It is a special thing. There's a send-off that's going off tomorrow morning. Community's going to come out. I plan to get some video footage of that as well to share on Viking News on Demand. Going up tomorrow, what is the schedule once you get there? Do you have an area gym you can go to?
Yes, we do. We're actually going to practice at Rockville.
Yes.
Coach Ingram's brother is the
head
coach in Rockville. So we will practice at Rockville upon arriving in Murfreesboro tomorrow.
Okay, fantastic. Your game is Wednesday morning, 9:30, and playing North Green. Now, where is North Green? Kind of update people on who you're playing.
North Green is in Greenville, Tennessee.
Okay.
That's East Tennessee.
Yes, it is.
Up above Knoxville, almost close to Johnson City, Tennessee.
That's right, that Tri-City area.
Yes,
my wife has actually spent quite a few of her upbringing years there. She went there when she turned 12 and stayed there through graduating high school. So I know where Greenville is at.
Yeah, and actually I've been to Greenville before, because I coach Little League Baseball.
Okay.
And we played in the state championship, and actually got to the state championship game, and it was in Greenville.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, Greenville, they got that county school that's not far from Greenville. It's a big school up there, but this is a different school, North Green. Coming in with a decent record, 30-4. But you've got a good record as well. And, at this point of the game, I know you tell your kids, don't focus on the other side, just play your game.
Right.
That's easier said when it's not the state tournament or Blue Cross championships. How are practices going right now? How locked in and focused do you feel like this team is?
Locked in, tuned in, focused. And especially when you have seniors, and we have seniors, this is their last opportunity. So it's either get it done now or never have a chance to ever do it again. So they're locked in. The seniors are really locked in. And of course, we have 2 super sophomores and Darian Taylor and Jaden Champion, but they're locked in. They're locked in because they know this is their last opportunity. It's do or die. It's now or never. And we got 3 games left to complete this cycle.
There was a young man on social media this week. He coached, he played under Coach Boykin, coached a little bit with Coach Boykin, and he said something that really, really struck a chord. Our Humboldt community has went through a lot. One time, factories were booming. Basketball was the thing. I mean, it was at a high point under Coach Boykin at that point. Mm-hmm. And then Humboldt went through a season where factories started shutting down. People were leaving town. But he made the statement. He said, one thing that's remained solid and consistent in Humboldt is that boys basketball is going to be good. And it has kind of helped unify our town. It's kind of kept the town moving in the same direction. And so it's good for the city to see this, continue. I know you've talked about it before, but I'll give you just a chance to explain to maybe the newcomer to Humboldt what boys basketball means to our community and the fans that really travel with this team.
Well, it means a lot, and I'll go a little deeper than that, Sam. I've coached basketball on a very high level.
Yes, sir.
Been very successful on a very high level. And actually, as I told you before, when the job at Humboldt was offered to me, I actually turned them down at least 4 times.
Oh, wow.
And didn't think it was something that I wanted to do and come to a smaller town, especially after being on the level that I was. And I am a man of God.
Yes, sir.
I do pray.
Sure.
I do ask God for guidance. I do ask God for direction. And he told me that this is the place you need to be. And even after my first, second, third year here, I was questioning whether I would be, I should be in Humboldt. And the Spirit kindly told me that you're where you're supposed to be.
Yes, sir.
So let's go to work.
Yeah.
And let's make the difference. I need you to be a Christ-like role model.
Yes, sir.
For these boys, not only for basketball and athletics, but for their lives. And so I took up that mantle. Mm-hmm. And that's why I've been here this long, because Humboldt is special to me because of the atmosphere, because of the town, because of the young men that I have coached, the young men that have come through here. Yeah. I've been able to be a role model for them, and they are still, they still come back. And we've been able to not only athletically be successful, but we have been very successful academically.
Yes, sir.
In my 11 years here, we now have an engineer. We now have a doctor. We now have different kids who that 2017 team, all 5 players graduated from college. And of course, from our 2019 team, Anthony, RJ, and Trey Ward are about to graduate. So academically, it's been very good. And the mantle we've held, the expectations we held, is what's been good for me, and been good of the fact of me needing to be in Humboldt and doing what I do.
Yes, sir. You mentioned in the previous teams, I just saw a picture posted, I think it was from Tokyo, somewhere over in Japan, where Desante Bradford.
Right.
And there was another Bradford, I'm missing his name, but they played against each other. And they were kind of ragging each other. They said, well, who won? They said, well, look who's smiling, but you're seeing them go on even and playing different levels, after they leave you here.
Cortland Martin, who plays at pro ball in Australia. So we've been able to do that, and that's what's important to me.
Yes, sir.
Is that we are able to develop young men, not only athletically, but academically, socially, mentally, and to become good citizens.
Yes, sir. Welcome into Inside Humboldt Basketball, live from UT Martin Skyhawks Gymnasium. Special atmosphere here, you know, kind of something different for those kids. Did you you played on the 2013 state championship team. Mm-hmm. Did you guys get to do something like this before going to state?
We did. We went to Jackson State and actually played over there. We actually had an opportunity to scrimmage in another school. So
really?
that was pretty fun. A little different for us, but it was fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, you joined the staff this year. Mm-hmm. Been coaching some football, but Coach Ab said in our first episode, I think, of the year, he's like, he's a basketball guy. He's been coaching football, but he's a basketball guy. And wanted to kind of get your take on this. How special is it first year being on that team and seeing these kids go all the way to the state championship?
It's been special to be with this group of kids. We got a nice, solid group of kids. I've had the opportunity of knowing a lot of them since they were young folks. So seeing them coming up, seeing them being playing Boston City League and being a part of it now, it's an unreal feeling. You know, sometimes I might cry.
Yeah, especially if they win that state championship. I know you've got to say they're headed to the state championship. We're headed to the tournament, and want to make sure and correct my terminology there. We still got some work to do.
But we'll claim positivity.
That's right. That's right. We've got a team, North Green, coming up. Then you might be either playing Chattanooga Prep or Santa Fe, and then I was talking off air with Coach, and I was like, "Who do you expect to come out?" And he said, "I really don't know." He said, "At this point, we're just so focused on the game in front of us." Yes, let's talk about what your role was this year coming onto this staff. I know you were really more stats, logistics, but why don't you kind of walk through what your day-to-day operation is for this team?
Well, stats was the main thing that I did, but I also helped with just the small thing with the players. I know Coach Ab and Coach Butler, they do so much on the mainstream, on the main pay, on the main actual what is said and done.
Yeah.
But when it's all said and done, I was one of those guys that get the players motivated, talk to them about the small things. If Coach has too much going on, they come to me and I can break it down for them because I have that time to break it down.
Yeah.
Because Coach is in the zone. I'm more so taking stats and they come, "Coach, what am I doing wrong?" Well, if you're looking right here, this is what we're working at. So that was big for me. And them being able to see their stats, seeing where their missed shots at, especially free throws. We have to be better at free throws. And so a lot of the players saw that and was like, "Coach, I got to work on it."
Yeah, that's true because some of those games where I think it was even that game against Middleton the last time we played them, 55-50, I think I remember, free throws about cost us coming down there. Yeah. I mean, they started fouling us and we couldn't hit them, and then we sunk a couple there at the end, and that kind of helped us. But I'm glad to hear that. I knew it was an emphasis. Coach says he wants it 70 to 80%.
Oh yeah,
minimum. And there were quite a few games this year we kind of struggled getting to that benchmark.
Yeah, we did. But our defense, we're so aggressive and tenacious on defense that it kind of makes it made up for those missed free throws. But when it's all said and done, from my experience, you have to make those free throws win state championship.
Yeah, so here it comes. We're going to Murfreesboro. Get the big send-off tomorrow from town. Kind of walk through those days. Like I said, I don't want to necessarily, this is about 2025, but you were on that 2013 team, and you can bring a different perspective. If I remember right, you're the only one on this coaching staff that played for Humboldt. So you're going to bring a different perspective. Kind of take us into those kids' emotions. Take us back to when it was 2013. You're headed back to Murfreesboro. What did it mean to you as a player to see the fans show up and send you off to Murfreesboro, even those that couldn't travel?
For me, it meant everything because even the fans that sent us off, we had a similar send-off. We didn't have a breakfast, so they're lucky. But we did have a send-off similar to what they're getting. And it was amazing to see all the fans come out. You see your parents, you see people that you haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
They might not been there for the season, but they're there to support you when on the big stage.
Yeah.
So that was amazing. And then for being a young guy that's playing, I didn't understand back then because I was just, you get your stuff and you play. But looking back, I mean, those times with my teammates, we were on a charter bus for 4 days.
Yeah.
Doing a whole bunch of different activities. You've seen a lot of different teams, seeing a lot of good basketball being played. You're playing a lot of good basketball. You're really reuniting. I always say together, everyone achieves more. And when you're together throughout that time, you really form a strong bond.
Yeah.
And when you're on that charter bus for those 4 days, in the hotel with each other 4 days, everything you do is going to be with the team.
Yeah.
So we're going to be together a lot.
Thankfully, this team, 7 seniors have been there before.
Yeah.
They've been there. This is one of the things I talked about. You probably recognize the name Jonathan Warrington. He had a really good post on social media talking about the ups and downs of Humboldt City, where we've seen factories close and all of that. You probably saw the post. But he talked about one thing's remained constant, and that's this basketball program and how that it has kept the city unified. When at times it would have been easy for it to have not been. But this basketball program is more than just school. I mean, it really helps bond that city together. But you got 7 seniors that have been to this tournament. That is valuable, so valuable.
It is.
But then you've got young guys like Jaden Champion who have come off the bench and put up 30 points. Now, not necessarily got those expectations for the state tournament because it's a different game.
Different ball game.
But nothing prepares you for that moment like being there. When I remember seeing the deer in headlight look when our kids walked onto that floor a few years ago.
I remember watching them too.
It's huge. The arena's massive. But you can have those conversations because you've been there. Have you had kids come to me like, hey, coach, like, what do I expect?
Yeah, we talked about it. And like one of the small things that people don't really realize is, the sunlight being in your eyes, especially when you're in the morning time at 9:30 in the morning. You go look up, you're going to see your face on that TV screen.
Yeah.
And I know I looked up and I saw my face and I started smiling. That's just the kind of person I am. I looked up, saw me, I just
yeah.
But it's besides that, it's unreal because you see yourself, you see your stats, you hear the commentators, then you can go home and watch the game again on NFHS.
Yeah.
So it's huge, it's big, and I love that these kids get the opportunity. I love the young folk get the opportunity because next year is a promise. Tomorrow is a promise. So we may not get here. I believe we'll get here again, but to have 7 seniors that are leading the charge, showing these young guys what it means to be a Humboldt basketball player, and have a team on your back, it's pretty good. It's amazing.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, we reiterate, game time Wednesday morning, 9:30. And then we'll play again, hopefully Friday at 9:30. And the championship is Saturday at 11 o'clock. And we'll keep all that coverage right here on Viking News On Demand. Coach Brown, thanks so much for taking time.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
You've been to the state tournament many times here. We went 2017, 2019, 2023.
Yes, sir.
Here we are again. But there's one thing we haven't done yet, and that's win that gold ball.
Right.
How different is it going in this time? Is there a difference in the teams? I mean, obviously every team has its ebb and flows.
Yeah, and every team was different. When I think of 2017, that was our first time going.
Yes, sir.
And, we lost back 2 points in the first game. And then our second time was 2019.
Yes, sir.
And we played in the championship game.
Yeah.
And, of course, in 2023, we had a very young team, a sophomore-dominated team.
Yes.
A little different. This year, we're going in with a senior-dominated team. And our expectations are higher.
Yes, sir.
And we expect to finish better.
Yeah.
And we expect to try to be able to compete for that gold ball when they throw that last ball up.
Yes, sir. That last time that you went was a special time, obviously, for you, not just as a coach, but as a father. You had your son right there alongside of you.
Right.
It's going to be different for you this go around, too.
Yeah.
Will your wife get to travel with you?
She'll be there. She'll come.
Yeah.
She'll come, but it'll be different this time.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm a senior.
Yeah.
And time is closing in.
Yeah.
For me, I would like to get that gold ball.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Obviously, get the send off, Tuesday, tomorrow. It may be a little distance for people to be able to travel. You can watch those games on NFHS if you can't go physically, but if you can, we'd love for you to go because these kids need to see those fans in the stands, and it's a little harder to be seen in MTSU. So you need quite a few to show up.
Yes, it is.
But what are your thoughts going into this tournament? I know obviously your thoughts are on the gold ball, but what would you say to the Humboldt community to rally their support behind these kids one more time?
Irregardless, just come and cheer these kids on.
Yeah.
They deserve it.
That's
They've
right.
worked hard. If we're not successful anywhere from here, we have won 28 games.
Yeah.
And lost only 5. We have come through a tremendous schedule.
Yes, sir.
That was engineered for success.
Yes.
We won the district regular season title 10-0. We won the district tournament championship. We won the regional tournament championship. We won the sub-state championship. Been a tremendous season, irregardless of what happens.
Yeah. Like you said it last time, we was talking about the sub-state game that just took place. You said, when you get to this point, everybody's good.
They are.
And so Humboldt can really hang their hat on that. No matter what happens, you're going to be named among those good teams this year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no question about it. No question. I believe we're number 4 in the AP state
Yes, sir.
rankings. We've accomplished a lot this year.
That's right. Well, Coach, as always, I know you've took a few minutes here off the court with us, and I appreciate the inside access that you've given us. And we'll at least have one more show. Hopefully it's showing off a gold ball and maybe pulling some players that have played in that tournament and getting kind of their perspective on the tournament as well. So we'll at least have one more episode this year.
Right.
So appreciate you joining us again today.
Okay.
This is Inside Humboldt Basketball with head coach Ronald Abernathy. And up next is the state tournament. We'll give you all that coverage. We may have a few videos that we shoot from there. If we can sneak a couple of cell phone videos from warm-ups. I can't do anything during games. We'll get fined for that. So we won't be able to do anything during games, but we can make sure and do that. And we might be able, depending on what time the game ends on Wednesday, we might go live from that room where we do the interviews and just kind of do a press conference in there and let everybody know how the game went. Hopefully it's saying we're playing again on Friday and then again on Saturday. So we'll either, if you win this game against North Green, you play Chattanooga or Santa Fe, whichever wins that game following us on Wednesday, and then we'll play that game on Thursday at 11 o'clock. Winner of that game,
it'll be
Friday at 11 o'clock. That's right.
Friday at 9:30 a.m.
That's right. Saturday it's 11.
Saturday's the 11.
Saturday's the 11 because we get the morning games. Do you like that? Do you like having the early game, or would you rather it being later?
I don't care.
You don't care.
No,
just
want to play.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So it's 9:30. Let's go back and do that one more time. It's 9:30 Wednesday morning. Winner of that game plays Chattanooga Prep and Santa Fe. They will play after us on Wednesday. We will play them Thursday at 9:30, and then Friday at 9:30, and then the championship is Saturday at 11. And man, that championship, it will be full. I've been to that one time before, and even teams that aren't playing, they stick around. They want to see that championship game. So it's always a lot of excitement. There's always college scouts that are there. I mean, they're looking. And I don't know, is that any conversation that you have with these kids to say, hey, you really want to show out good on the state tournament, or is it just really stay focused on just winning that championship?
Really, it's pretty much staying focused on the game. And other things take care of itself.
Yes, sir. Well, this is Inside Humboldt Basketball, another episode with head coach Ronald Abernathy. We'll have one more episode coming up next week, as hopefully we're talking about a Humboldt championship coming back from the Blue Cross State Tournament. Thanks so much for joining us today, folks. God bless.